everyone, how's it going? The highly anticipated Blue Lock match between Japan and England has finally officially kicked off, and in this do-or-die game, both teams are battling it out to advance to the knockout stage. Isagi is absolutely determined to reclaim the previous position that Karasu had unfairly taken from him, but the English Knights are proving to be far more powerful than he had initially thought. However, what truly surprised Blue Lock fans more than anything else in this chapter was the sudden appearance of Fox and his mysterious connection and past with Jinpachi Ego. Chapter 355 of the Blue Lock manga, bearing the title 1 to Infinity, commences. As we gaze upon the magnificent exclusive Blue Lock Stadium from an aerial perspective, the commentator announces that the highly anticipated final match of Group A is about to get underway. The victor of this crucial, fate-determining showdown will proceed to the World Cup's knockout phase. The entire global community's focus is intently fixed upon this thrilling and intense encounter. We can clearly see the England supporters watching intently on their televisions and the passionate fans of Japan's Blue Lock team who are completely engrossed in the game on their phones, all of them absolutely thrilled. Finally, with the commentator's announcement, both teams' players enter the field and both teams are heavily farming aura. Our guy Yukimiya is walking ahead of everyone else as if he's Blue Lock's most dangerous player. On the other side, we see Teddy with his usual lifeless expression, but what caught my attention the most is England's number 3 player. The man, despite his rather simple appearance, his bone structure is so incredibly massive that it seems like one person alone will cover the entire goal. Behind him we have England's captain with his distinctive afro-shaped hair, almost as if he copied his entire look from Onatsi and England's uniform. It actually reminds me more of Norway's kit from the 2026 World Cup rather than England's own, or perhaps Nomura-sensei took inspiration from England's 2002 uniform and simply incorporated a few new design elements. Here we see the lineups of two teams. Blue Lock is playing a 4-1-4-1, a completely offensive lineup. Ego wants to win this game no matter what, but their defense will be extremely weak. England, on the other hand, is playing a 4-2-3-1 or maybe a 4-3-3, which is also a very offensive formation. Kagi, who was in the New Egoist League as in Bingu Jaros and Yue Chodrod, has been placed as a striker. No, Chilis is the right winger and Teddy is the left winger. Nyang and Skeleton are playing as defensive midfielders. Arthur is the left back and Swift is the right back. Goodman and Damon are also centre backs, and finally Rookham is their goalkeeper. Teddy can't speak, he's just repeatedly calling himself a useless, good-for-nothing puppet. Isagi, seeing him, seems to be thinking, God has cursed this one, what more can I possibly do for him? Then suddenly AGI calls out to him saying it's been a long time since they last met and he remembers who he is. They were together in the Neo Egoist League. Isagi, recalling AGI's name, says he never forgets truly cool people. Agi also states it's an honor to compete against him and they'll soon discover which team possesses the greater madness. Here we can also observe the remaining members of the England squad. Number 4 is seen leaping, fully prepared, while number 7 displays remarkably peculiar eyes, and number 8 with his gaze appears to have emerged straight from the grave. Generally, all the England players in Blue Lock seem to have very strange and unusual appearances. But the most peculiar of them all is Fox, whom we'll encounter soon. Agi tells Isagi that this will be a true battle of beauty and unique playstyle. Isagi, by calling him a mad doctor, declares he's prepared for battle. Teddy, as always, is a complete grump and has no manners whatsoever. Alright everyone, here we arrive at the most bizarre, uncomfortable, and truly terrifying character we've encountered so far in Blue Lock. England's head coach Fox. Pause. Yes children, this individual we're observing is Fox, the coach of England, and it's quite puzzling why his name is Fox in the first place, because his appearance resembles rodents like mice, rabbits, or even guinea pigs far more than it resembles an actual fox. His face truly matches his madness, you know. This very Ava had come and told Teddy to go tell the Blue Lock team to intentionally lose the game, and if they don't, she'll kill them. Just look at how incredibly crazy she is. Usually the intense eye expressions we see from the Blue Lock players are just visual effects that don't actually happen in reality, but this bizarre creature's eyes are completely black with absolutely no white visible whatsoever. It's as if one of the ghouls from the anime Tokyo Ghoul has become England's head coach. His coat is even tattered and it looks like he hunts people at night. What's worse, it turns out this Fox also has a past with Ego. Fox then articulates the exact same philosophy of Jinpachi Ego that he shared with everyone at the story's start. Fox says, I am 0 to 1. In Jinpachi Ego's philosophy, the concept of 0 to 1 holds two extremely significant meanings. Firstly, Ego transformed the Japanese national team, which was at 0, characterized by playing with fear and prioritizing group play, into 1, which represented a focus on individual skills and the distinct ego of each and every player. The second concept of 0 to 1 is that the best attacker is the one who, using their ego and the weapon they possess, creates a goal from absolute nothing, from 0, and reaches 1. At first glance, having known the stuff, sometimes the philosophies of Ego and Fox might seem quite similar, but in their practical implementation, they have a very significant difference, which I will explain in detail later on. Fox laughs and tells Ego he can't believe they're facing each other as head coaches. This means Ego was either his teammate or a rival on an opposing team, or even Ego's coach during his playing career, since Fox is older and Ego is only 30 years old. Ego retorts, saying he also can't believe they've met like this. England must be out of their minds to pick him as coach. Fox laughs like a villain, calling Ego a pest, saying he's his usual annoying self. Japan's federation must be crazy to have made him head coach, but he shouldn't worry, today's the day I'll crush Ego's stupid football philosophy. Ego also accepts his invitation to battle, and here the intense struggle between two brilliant yet eccentric head coaches begins to ultimately determine which unique aesthetic and philosophy of football truly deserves to endure and thrive in this new era. Across the entire field, we witness Isagi initiating the play with a backward pass as all the players then surge forward, moving towards one another. Isagi is here to explain Blue Lock's strategy for this game. Karasu is the fulcrum of their attacks. Hiyori is up front, Zantetsu on the right, and Yukimiya on the left. The four of them form a diamond shape, and diamonds are known for being unbreakable. Their primary striker and finisher is Shido, and Isagi needs to support everyone and confuse their opponents. Additionally, Ego has made him a free player so he can devour the formation centered around Karasu and score his own goal. As Karasu passes the ball, Isagi admits that the team is now under Karasu's command and has become the heart of the team. So, if he wants to reclaim his position from Karasu, he must win with the goal he scores himself and show his teammates the new Yoichi Isagi, and we see Isagi wins the battle against Agi and passes the ball to Hiyori. Hiyori, saying he needs to increase his speed, crosses the ball over the head of England's number 5. Just look at number 5's face, it's like he's wearing glasses. Zantetsu skillfully catches the ball and declares it's time to absolutely crush the English, but then quite suddenly Nyang emerges with a distinct cat-like sound, stating that the exploitable weakness is entirely apparent. 1 to infinity. Please pay close attention to this specific phrase 1 to infinity, because we are going to delve into it quite extensively later on. Zantetsu, with a distinct cat-like meow, tells him to shut up. Just as he's about to lose possession of the ball, Karasu suddenly appears right behind him, demanding it. Zantetsu, clearly influenced by his companions, passes the ball with another cat-like sound. The player has truly risen from the grave, and Swift and England's captain launch a combined assault on Karasu, counting from 1 to infinity. Karasu realizes that England's team knows he is the linchpin and they have a specific strategy to counter his play. At that very moment, Isagi, who had anticipated Karasu would be targeted, arrives with his puzzle play and completely devours Karasu's position. Zantetsu praises him with a cat-like sound, but Teddy appears, saying he sees him and hits the ball. Isagi tells him, "Dai, my sure not bad, you useless puppet. Yani but Teddy, just like the other England players, has his CD stuck repeating 1 to infinity. Blue Lock's devil Shido seizes the opportunity, declaring himself the last to introduce this show, and then adding a foul word, he attempts to volley the ball while it's still in the air. However, England's defense, moving like robots, communicate with each other, and forming a night shield, they manage to block what was 100% certain goal. Shido is shocked by this situation and states their defense is like a solid wall. Karasu too is really taken by surprise. Isagi then quickly analyzes the whole thing, remarking that the speed, pressing, tackling, and ball blocking of all England's players are absolutely extraordinary and they possess truly insane skills. But still, the entire team defends in a coordinated, organized, and disciplined way. Just like an army, this team is England's warrior soldiers and knights. In a beautiful display, we can see these knights before England's gate. It's no coincidence that Teddy's last name is Knight. Here, Fox, laughing, says "Sirotu" with his violin. And Teddy, obeying him, declares that he transforms Team 1 into an infinite power. Alright everyone, let me really break down this concept for you. Do you recall that from the very first chapters of Blue Lock, Ego repeatedly emphasized that a true striker is someone who can turn 0 into 1? So from a chaotic situation, from the opponent's well-organized defense, from no clear chance at all, with Ego's power and his unique personal weapon, he creates a goal and completely changes the game. This was precisely what Ego said Japan was missing, an egoist striker who could truly spark a revolution. But England has now completely reversed the interpretation of this concept. Fox says, I am the architect and the creator. I built from scratch a core instruction, an idea, a unique one. I am 0-1. Teddy and the other English players say we'll take that one, and with perfect discipline, absolute obedience, incredible coordination, and without the slightest deviation, we'll transform it into endless movements and opportunities. In this chapter, England is shown as a well-oiled war machine. They are called the soldier football team or the Knights of England. All the players act like soldiers and mere puppets. The coach gives orders, and they, without personal thought or individual ego, perform their very best. Not only is Teddy a puppet, but all England players consider themselves useless puppets that Fox controls. This is precisely the opposite of Blue Lock's philosophy. Blue Lock says individual ego, personal weapons, and selfishness turn 0 into 1, and everyone must fight for themselves. But England says military discipline, complete obedience to the coach must turn 1 into infinity, and everyone fights for the team. In short, this match has become a war of individual ego versus absolute collective order. England is like an armored army of knights under Fox's command, ready to crush the egoists that ego has created, each with their own command and individual will. I truly believe this war of philosophies is going to be incredibly exciting, and since it's the final group stage match, we're definitely going to witness several chapters of thrilling scenes. What's your opinion and theory on this game? Definitely tell me in the comments, and click the video you see right here and watch it. And I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Yo gang, goodbye.